Welcome to the Andrew Collin Show. I am your host, Andrew Collin. I am joined by my producer, Radu. I like you going by one.
I am kind of a one name.
Yeah, you're like Bono, Bon Jovi, Stalin, Hitler, anyone, Madonna,
Mao.
It is interesting. Either you're the biggest celebrity in the world or you're the biggest dictator in the world. Like, either way, you're killing it. Bjork. She beat the shit out of that person at the airport.
Did she?
Yeah, someone was taking a photo of her, and she just was like, nah, this isn't happening, not today. And I kind of respect it. There is nothing more I would love than a paparazzi. I'm getting in the car. I have Mango with me in a carrier. I'm dropping Mango off. I'm going to take him to the vet, right? I'm taking Mango to the vet. So I put him in his carrier, and 45 paparazzis come over because I called them. And I said, look, I'll pay you. I mean, at what point, how does a human being end up thinking that they are deserving of paparazzi? You know what I mean? Like, I just don't understand the celebrity. Now that I live in fucking Los Angeles, it makes less sense to me now that I'm here. I really do think, like, people call the paparazzi for them to take photos. And I would love for a pop to get too close to Mango. And Mango's my cat, by the way. And I go, look, hey, can you back? Like, I'll start like this. I'll go, hey, can you back up? Can you back up?
Just being civil at first.
Very civil, almost too civil. But when you're that civil, there's some sinister under that, you know. And I'm like, just back up, just back up a little bit. And they're like, yeah, okay, no, but we need you for Time Magazine or us. I'm like, look, it's fine. It's just like, it's a little sensitive. My cat has diarrhea and has also blockage at the same time. So we don't know if he ate a hair tie. We don't know what's going on with him. But if you could just give us some time, kind of like Hilaria with the Alec Baldwin thing. Yeah. But instead of like me killing someone, I'm just helping my cat. Shout out Alec, Long Island for life. And then I'm just like, hey, man, just back up. And then they'll go, okay, now, like, you're playing the game. You're like Sean Penn or whatever. I love that I just name old actors. Like, I don't even know what kind of actor now would even have paparazzi. Like, I don't even know if it's a thing, really, anymore. Chalamet.
Cash Me Outside Girl.
Brad Pitt.
It's kind of it.
Danny DeVito.
Britney Spears still, obviously.
Maybe Lance Armstrong, wherever he's living now.
Austin, no.
He kind of fell off the grid.
He fell off hard.
Was it
we can get him.
People hate testicular cancer.
I think we can get him on the pod.
Huh?
I think we can get Lance Armstrong.
I mean, at this point, yeah. Maybe we just go after everyone that was famous 35 years ago.
Yeah, the once was.
Oh, I'd love a once was.
Yeah.
Everyone wants to know what they're doing. What are they doing? What do you think he does every day?
It's probably easy to imagine.
Think he's riding a bike?
It's probably a lot of strip clubs.
Yeah. I used to... strip clubs were...
It's kind of a dark time, you know?
Someone said, I remember I went to a strip club, and they said I look like Joe Rogan. And I go, how do you know I look like Joe Rogan? They're like, well, because he was here 2 nights ago. And I was like, oh. I had a shaved head. I was jacked. They wanted to hire me as a bouncer.
Hey, you look like a guy who knows how to make money in strip clubs.
Make money in strip club? Like, be the middleman?
Somehow. I don't know how. I don't know how to do it.
I just know that, like, I remember I had a 2-lane education, which was, I don't know, fucking $40,000 a year. And I told my dad and mom after I came to LA the first time and had a minor drug overdose, minor heart attack. It was mild. In New Orleans. I did a little too much blow with a stripper, but we weren't hooking up. We were just talking about life.
Two cool people.
Just 2 cool people overlooking Lake Pontchartrain. Talking about things. And I ended up in the heart ward for 3 days. Wow. $7,000 later, I said, you know what, maybe L.A., even though that was in New Orleans, I don't want to blame L.A.
That was a different kind of L.A. That was Louisiana.
Yeah, so I went back to Florida, and then next thing I know, I'm at a strip club because I learned my lesson.
Right.
That's the thing. I've never learned a lesson. I've never.
Not one lesson.
I don't know. Maybe lately. It's hard to learn lessons. I don't understand those people that have one traumatic thing happen because it stands out so much. Mm-hmm. But when you just get used to the trauma, then you're like, what am I going to learn?
There's that saying, once bitten, twice shy. But you're like, no, I just keep getting bitten.
Yeah. Yeah. A lot of sharks. Yeah. But little teeth. Not big teeth. So I go back and I'm like going to strip clubs alone. There's nothing worse than a guy at strip. I remember one time I went to a strip club and alone. I was with my friends and they came later, but they didn't know I was there. And they were like, "Oh,
what's up?
What's up?" I was like, "Hey, what's up?" They like looked over. You know, it's one of those looks when it's like in the black light. So it's like, is that my degenerate friend that's alone at a strip club in Mons Venus in Tampa?
Yeah.
Oh man, that's a fucking. The smaller the strip club and the more the girls, it just gets wild. It just gets wild. Like some of the ones in Vegas are like 40,000 square feet.
Yeah.
You know, you could kind of hide. You know, this one, your friends will find you. They'll see you. It was bad. So anyhow, the one in Palm Beach, though, is the one I was talking about where I was going to get a job as a bouncer. And it kind of shows how hard I was working out back then. Where like only a badass becomes a bouncer in a strip club. Strip clubs in Florida are disgusting. They stay open till like 5 a.m. It's where people go after hours.
Did they stop selling the alcohol, but the strip club's still open?
I think they start selling eggs. I've eaten strip club eggs before. Wait. I don't know how they cook them. I just think in the pussy. You know?
I know about steak. I've never heard of eggs.
Yeah, strip club eggs.
Hundreds of health inspectors are turning the dial up right now.
Oh, man. It was, yeah. No, there's a strip club called, everyone's been to it. It's called Cafe Risque.
Everyone's been to it.
I'm telling you, if you're in Florida, it's like firework signs, but for pussy. Every 2 miles is Cafe Risque, Cafe Risque. And I went there. Oh, by the way, I would have beat up that paparazzi. I know, I kind of forgot about it. This is everything I would have said to him before I whooped his ass, before I bejorked him. So I went to Florida State and we took GHB. Mm-hmm. And I don't know. You know what GHB is?
It's the roofie drug.
It's the roofie drug. Mm-hmm. It's weird when it's also the weightlifter kind of drug because it didn't add calories. You get it just as fucked up on alcohol.
Oh, that's smart.
It's
that's not smart, but it's something.
Well, Tom Segura, he has the famous story about drinking. Someone gave him a water bottle and he thought it was water and he chugged it and it was GHB. Whoa! And he only survived because he was fat at the time. That's what he says, and I say. I was there that night. I wasn't like with like him throughout the whole thing, but I was in that bar.
Right.
And I don't know if people like said it that night or like the next day. It was like a big story in our town, but anyhow, I took GHB in Florida State and I like kind of passed out. I didn't even like do anything cool. And then my buddy Rusty took it. He was like spitting up blood and we're like, you spit up blood, you know it's good.
Yeah. That's the good stuff.
Yeah. And he spit up blood, and I don't know if he passed out too. Like we didn't like you get so fucked up. You don't even talk to women. You don't. There's no rhyme or reason to it, other than like you're just sad or something.
Lizard brain.
Yeah, pretty much. It's still growing, I guess, into like a pterodactyl. You know, still a little baby lizard, no tail. Cut the tail off. They still move.
Yeah,
it's weird.
Yeah.
So I go down. There's Cafe Risque. We go down. We're driving home. And Cafe Risque is like in Ocala. It's like in between Tallahassee and like where I grew up in Vero Beach, Florida. Mm. And it's like Cafe Risque signs. It's Cafe Risque. And we're on the turnpike. I think we're on the turnpike. Because I remember we go there and it's like 1 p.m, which is an interesting shift at Cafe Risque. like, and they had a buffet. Yeah. And there were like eggs and there was like chicken wings, and then I think that's the first time I ever saw pussy like in the light.
In a store.
Yeah. Just like it was, just like there. Like I hooked up since. I think a lot of people will hook up a lot and still have never really
Pretty dark.
seen a vagina outside a magazine. And this was just like, I was eating popcorn shrimp. Just, I didn't have money for a lap dance. I honestly went there. I was like, oh, the buffet looks like, 2 for $1.
Were you horny and hungry at the same time?
I was kind of, I'm not going to lie, it was a lot for me. You know what I mean?
Too much stimulus.
It was just a lot of vagina. Like,
right.
It was like, I've never, just in the light. I'm just thinking about it now. I'm just picturing it.
I mean, any genitalia in the light would be.
Oh, yeah. Oh, a dick
just horrifying.
Oh, a dick in the light.
Like a brightly well-lit dick. Oh.
I've always said, if you are hooking up at 2 p.m. without blinds, you're a psychopath.
Mm-hmm.
No one should be having afternoon sex. Afternoon sex should not be a thing unless the shades are drawn and you're day drinking all day. Like, there's no reason to see genitals at 4 p.m.
Professional pornography or an escort. That's the only.
It's just too much.
Mm-hmm.
Think for everything. You're not supposed to see that much. Not everything needs to be in HD. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So we go to Risque and we spend all our money. We have no money for tolls. So we have to get receipts at the tolls. We have to get like pieces of paper to pay back. Like, and I think this is why I'm still in debt. Like, I never paid those tolls. And like, I just remember just being like, yeah, maybe we shouldn't go to Florida State. Like, maybe Florida State isn't the school for us. Rusty ended up going to Florida State. Of course he did. Rusty ended up being my business partner for about 5 years in real estate.
And you guys did well.
One deal. Everyone like thinks we made a lot of money. We did one deal.
Yeah.
One deal we made like about $300,000 each, which when you're 24, 25,
It's
you
all
might
the
as well
money
be
in
a
the world.
billionaire. Yeah, you're a billionaire. And we spent it so fast. I mean, I bought a Tundra that was worth $45,000. Big spinner tires. Not spinners, sorry. They should be spinner. My stepbrother had spinners. Do you remember spinners?
Oh, yeah.
They're still going. You stop.
They're still
They're still going. And we bought these I bought the Tundra and I put on like 22-inch rims. I remember. I went and got special tires. And about 3 weeks in, I'm like, why am I a Jewish guy with a big truck? It doesn't.
You were really trying to blend in.
I guess, yeah. I was like, no way. But then I have fucking kosher bull horns in the back. I was like, I swear they're wash or whatever. I don't even know if bulls are not kosher, but there was no shellfish in that truck. I swear to God. Also, we didn't keep a kosher house, and I love fucking bacon and eating it. Anyhow, so Cafe Risque. Popcorn shirt. So, where was I? I don't even know what I'm talking about. I feel
Strip club eggs.
Yes, strip club eggs. And I bought this truck, and then like a month into owning the truck, my buddy was a used car dealer. This guy Jack Hardy, and he had a sports car or a used car dealership, and there was a Mercedes AMG that was about 5 years old, but it had 400 horsepower, like souped up. And I was like, I gotta have it. This is the perfect Jewish car. This is not the truck. And I traded in the truck. And he's like, you need $7,000 difference. So I went to the bank. I took out $7,000 in cash. And I put it in a brown bag. And I threw it at his face. And I said, give me the fucking keys. And then I sat down for 3 hours and did paperwork. And it really loses. You got to throw it. Give me the keys. Let me drive off. My assistant will deal with the paper. You can't throw it.
Yep. Be a dick.
Be a dick. And then go, what's my social?
Wait, do I initial right here?
Yeah, it's not. What's page 7? Page 7? I have to read terms and conditions. Yeah, it's not cool. It's way cooler. Throw the cash. Get the fuck out of there. So, anyways, yeah, I lost everything. I bought a house for $220. A condo is worth $60. 6 months later, Rusty lost all his money throwing it in the air. Mm-hmm. He would take out. We were in debt at this point. And with no real line of, like, other deals coming through. And Rusty, we'd go to this place called Automatic Slims in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. And he had a mohawk. But during the day, he would comb it. He'd side comb it.
Right. To be professional.
Yeah. But it's still a mohawk. Like, you could try to hide a mohawk. It's... We're in, like, deals with, like, Ziggy Wilf, the owner of the Minnesota Vikings. Yeah. I swear to God, to try to sell a $13 million property, and Rusty has a comb-over mohawk, a comb hawk.
He looked half
and,
bald.
like, sparkles on his face from, like, the club from the night before. So Rusty would take out thousands of dollars on his credit card.
Of course.
I swear to God, he would take it out, get the $1,000, go to the table that we had, that he got on the credit card, and he would throw, I swear to God, he would take his shirt off, he had his mohawk up, and he would throw the $1,000 into the crowd of, like, maybe like 10 people. Like, it wasn't even like, it was like $100 for each person. It wasn't even cool. So Rusty's just throwing the fucking, the money. And
it's like a type of sacrifice.
What do you mean?
You know, it's like you're hoping for more good faith, more goodwill, whatever. Good luck.
No, he's just trying to get laid by anything that walked. And he did. Women love a mohawk. It's just not functional in real life.
Women love bad decisions. They love a guy who's like showing off, you know, outlaws.
Well, Post Malone, you got,
sure. There you go.
Got plenty of bad decisions on his face. But... You know, it's gotten to the point where, like, the face, it's, like, weird to have a job at Goldman Sachs without a face tattoo.
Right, yeah.
You know, it's like, well, this guy's
People
weird.
Like, aren't you weak without?
You don't have a swastika on your forehead? And you expect to work here?
Yeah. How do I don't know if you've killed anyone. Where are your tears?
Yeah, it has gotten to the point where, like, you can't even call it out anymore. You can't even be like, okay, the face tattoo is a little much. It's like, oh, really? Really? He can't work at our accounting firm?
There's no face tattoo that'll stop you from getting a job now, except for like a tattoo of your actual resume. That'll hurt.
Well, we have some questions.
We do. You want to hear a couple of them?
Yeah, let's hear some questions. So I put out on Instagram. I thought I'd have segments. By the way, thank you again for listening to the Andrew Collin Show. I don't even know what the fuck I just said. A lot of that was rambling because a little nervous. Want this to be good. I think that was entertaining.
It's kind of like the ghost of Rush Limbaugh's haunting you. You're just like a natural.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, it's very Rush Limbaugh. Rush Limbaugh would love a face tattoo.
Imagine
That's a guy that seems chill.
Imagine if Rush never talked about politics. Like he just like was talking for a few hours. That's what I want the show to be.
Wow. Here's to you, Rush.
All right, let's start off with like a softball, like an easy question, something everyone can kind of.
And let's say their name too. I think they would like that.
From Megan, I don't know how to spell your last. How do you know when it's time to get a divorce?
That's, I mean, that that's very that's tough. I guess, you know, I wonder if she's actually going through this. Would be my question. And if he's cheating, that's usually a no-brainer. If he's you know, not listening to you, if he's treating you horribly, if he spends all the money on another girl, or he spends money on himself and he like uses the college tuition to buy himself a fucking Maserati. That sucks.
That's a big one.
I think here's the real thing is like if behavior is bad and it's dog shit, that's okay. But if behavior is bad and it's dog shit and there's no self-awareness and no wanting to get better, then you got to divorce the motherfucker.
Sign the papers.
Yeah. But there's a but there. If you never bring up the bad behavior, then I don't know if you can pull the trigger just yet. And it sucks that might be up to you, like, to do that, because it shouldn't be. The person should just know. But sometimes it takes them, maybe they're begging for you to say something. I know that happened with me. Like, in college, I would cheat on everything. And I kind of, part of me wanted, like, I was George Santos in it all day long. I was Mr. Santos.
They're like, where were you?
I was in biology class. They're like, no, you weren't. First of all, you're not even signed up for that class. Second of all, you were on the volleyball team. Yeah. I think there's times where people are like crying for help from their spouse by doing horrible behavior, and they want you to help them. So I'd say something first before deciding to end it.
Man, I really wanted you to stumble through that. You were like King Solomon in that. That was incredible advice.
Thank you. I'm like Jay Shetty. Jay Shetty.
Jay Shetty. All right, here's one. This is just maybe answer this quick, because a lot of people ask this one in various different forms. They're just like, what's it like in LA now? What's your new expectation versus reality in LA?
I think I'm 42 years old. I didn't move here to be a fucking TikToker. It would be interesting if I was in a TikTok house with 3 like divorced dads. And one of them's like, look, I'm just following my dream for my family. It's like, yeah, you should probably have a different dream. Can you just imagine a line of 42-year-old guys just being like, what's up? I'm Andrew. I'm checking out my bad cholesterol, and sometimes I owe the IRS money, and I hide out in my car so they don't see me. Yeah. And then the next guy's like, I have 3 kids. My wife spits in my food, and my dog fucking tried to stab me with a fork. Hell yeah, dude.
Who can last longer at the proctologist challenge?
Yeah, it's just one of these things where it's like I moved here so late in life that it's not like I'm here in LA, like LA. It's just like I wanted to play some golf. I thought it was maybe a good place to be for potential opportunities. And that's pretty much it. Like I've gone to a couple good restaurants. I go to one good restaurant once every like 3 weeks. And, is it as bad as people say? Like, is the homelessness as bad? Is it just rioting in the streets? Yes. Yes. I have a knife in me right now. There's blood everywhere. Skid Row is everywhere. No, it's like you see one homeless guy. I've seen a couple dicks.
Yeah, we saw a dick the other day.
We saw a dick the other day in the street. He stubbed his toe and then dropped his towel, which was interesting.
He stubbed his toe and he's like, all right, dick's coming out. If I have to feel pain, so does the world.
There is something so funny about a guy that stubs his toe and shows his cock because of it. This happened to me the other day. I've been doing a little boxing for exercise, and it's so funny because like when I box, I have like this idea that like I'm like this alpha guy. That you want to fucking step to me? I know fucking 1, 2, 3, 4, and then go back to 1, and then 2, maybe 3, and then back to 4. Those are just like boxing steps, not to brag. So I do these boxing. I can punch hard. Like I really can. Like I'm not a little bitch. Like I can fucking throw a punch. Like a left hook, especially. It's my shit. I knocked out an old man one time.
An older man?
Yeah, really old man I knocked out one time. Not to brag.
Yeah, that's certainly not to brag.
Not to fall off my high horse and knock out an old man on the way down. I fucking knocked out an old man. Look, he stepped to the wrong person.
He was coming at you.
Yeah, he wanted my Cinnabon.
Oh, it wasn't just your sparring partner.
No, it was like, so what happened was I never sparred. I was living in Vero Beach. I was learning boxing, and they're like, "You guys need to spar." And it's like, I'm just trying to get a 4-pack. Mm-hmm. I don't need to fucking I don't need this, know. And I drive a Mercedes that I can't afford anymore. That I paid for $7,000 in cash. That I ran I had to fill out paperwork. So I went and they're like, no, you should spar this guy. And I was like, fine, I'll fucking spar. And I look over, and he's like 6'3". He's tall, but he's old. You know, 6'3", standing up. He's out of a wheelchair. The guy's like 6'4.5". Look, in the wheelchair.
He's tall, but he's old.
He's tall, but he's sitting. And he has... No, he's like this tall guy. He's probably like... At this point, I was like 30.
Yeah.
And he was probably 55.
Okay.
Which he wasn't like... It wasn't like...
You can fuck someone up at 55 still.
Yeah. Yeah, you got old man strength.
Right.
Old man strength starts to... Around 60, it's just...
That's old man in the C strength.
Yeah, yeah. So he... They tell him, they go, hey, don't throw any haymakers. Just a lot of this, a lot of, straight, a lot of jabs. Don't throw any power punches. This motherfucker.
Sorry, keep going.
This motherfucker, right when I get in, starts throwing haymakers, like overhand rights, and he was taller than me too, and he's just, and I'm just like, I'm just like, don't do that. Like, fucking, I'll punch it. I will punch you. And he keeps throwing it. And I'm just like, this motherfucker is trying to knock me out. And eventually I was like, it felt like self-defense almost. I threw a left, like, hook uppercut. And he literally, like, it looked like a movie. Like, fucking, his head, and he's on it was slow motion. Because he was so tall.
Oh.
It took him a while, and he fell on his back, and he was like out, and everyone at the place, like, there were people watching. Everyone's like, "Oh shit!"
You're supposed to like get on one knee or something.
Yeah, they like gave me like, they were like, "You're a professional now. You're ready to fight Jake Paul." And I laid him out, and I almost started crying. Because it was so heavy to me. Because I was like, I don't want to knock out an old man, even a young man.
Yeah.
But so anyway, so I go to these boxing classes now, and I'm not going to spar. I'm just doing it to stay in shape.
It's your turn to get knocked out.
Honestly, it probably is. Karma is going to come back for sure. I'll get knocked out by a guy that's 4'5". And I'll be like, dude, I knocked out this tallest guy, dude.
Giant.
Dude, this fucking giant got laid the fuck out. So but I'm walking back from boxing, and to answer your question, is LA scary? There was a guy walking a dog, a Rottweiler. He had no shirt on. And the guy barked at me, not the dog. I swear to God. I do this thing when someone barks. First of all, the dog was like, all right, what do I do?
Oh, you're barking? I was going to bark. I guess I'll stare or call the police.
The dog's like, all right, I'll get the next one. He's like, it was ridiculous. And so it was on a whole nother level of getting barked at. And then I do this thing where I'll go and like walk in the street because I'm like, oh, he won't cross the street. And then you look back, and he crossed the street. I was like, bad dogs. And it lasted like 2 blocks. And this happened. And then the other day I did a show, and I was walking up the hill, and another guy, shirt off, again, screaming. And, I don't know. It was just one of those things where it's like, because as like a man, you want to be like, I'm not afraid of this. But as like a person that doesn't want to get stabbed in the neck. So many people I feel like get stabbed in the neck because
they're proving something.
They're trying to prove, or they're like, they either play dumb or we watch so much shit on our phone that like horrible shit that we're immune to it. And so I didn't get stabbed. But like I did the same thing. I went in the middle of the street. And then, like, he literally, the guy the other night, I swear to God, it was like Jason where he was walking. I ran kind of like a slow jog, and he was walking, and somehow he, like, was gaining on me. Like, that's how it felt.
Terrible.
Yeah, it was terrible. So like, yeah, it was bad. Here we are at the famous pink Paul Smith wall. We got here too late. No one here is taking photos anymore. It's kind of pathetic. I feel ashamed. I feel like we didn't plan this out. I feel like my producer smokes too much weed, and I'm too fucking old to do this. So I think I'm just gonna get a photo in front of the wall. Hey!
Are you Jewish by any chance?
I am Jewish.
We are Jewish.
I'll trade you a Jewish conversation if we could interview you.
Sure.
Okay.
We don't have that long though.
Okay.
That's okay. We don't have too long either.
It's interesting how Things for God is also like a little BDSM, you know? I like you tie some guy up, you know, or a girl up. I'm just playing. LOL. So let's do like a couple more questions. I know we like figured out divorce for everybody. What do we got?
While we're already on that, I'm gonna give you one. My husband has. This is from Karen. My husband has a drinking problem, but he doesn't think he does. Help.
I love saying that while drinking. That I've quit for 4 years and I started again.
That's why you're the person she wants advice from.
And that really goes with the divorce. Same shit. If he doesn't realize, again, it's like if you gotta. It's. I swear to God, there's something about like a alcoholic who's like, yeah, who owns it? He's like, yeah, I fucking drink sometimes. I park my car in the river and I shit my pants. But hey, man, I'm a good guy. And it's like, all right, yeah, man. But if it's a guy that's like does all that and he's like, nah, dude, you have the problem. You drink too much. And it's like, So, yeah. So, I guess how many times does he drink a week? How many drinks is he having? And if it's negatively affecting during the day, your life, if he's not going to pick up the kids, if he's not playing catch with his son, or if he's throwing horribly.
If he's spending too much time with the kids.
Well, yeah, then you probably should get a job. Yeah. I mean, I think, yeah, again, but here you go. Bring it up to him over drinks. Have a couple cocktails and tell him he drinks too much. That's the problem with an intervention.
Yeah.
You have an intervention with someone and you have 5 out of 7 drinks with him. Like, let's say like you have 5 out of 10. He'll go, hey, you're the one, you drank 5 of those shots. You were throwing up with me. So like, if you're not leading by example, it's also tough. So, maybe you stop drinking for like 3 months and then he'll be like, I'm kind of like drinking alone. I've been drinking alone now for fucking 3 months.
It takes about 3 months for the other person.
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, yeah, no, that does suck. It does suck if someone really does have a problem. But yeah, he goes from like fun guy to like like that guy that's always just like he's the life of the party, and then it's like he crashed the boat into the bridge, and he's just like, I'll just buy another fucking boat. You're a fucking boat.
I can't see who this one is from because when you sent it to me, there's like a little notification thing covering their name, but they just asked, this is simple and elegant. Buried or cremated?
Oh, buried or cremated. Both are so scary. I'm one of those types where I still think you'll feel it, you know? Like, even if you're cremated, I always think, man, that fire's going to be hot. Like, I always think, like, you're not going to feel it all because you'll be dead, but you'll feel, like, the initial fire and be like, I'm not completely dead, bro. You know what I mean? Maybe I'll go half and half.
That was my plan.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, I want to be cut in half.
Okay.
And because I live in Texas and Romania, so I want to be buried in both. But I don't want people to know where the top half is buried and where the bottom half is buried.
That's still.
And then I'm going to cremate one of them.
First of all, it'd be very expensive to ship half your body. You're a tall man.
That's what all my net worth is for.
Can you just ship
that's what all the
some
savings.
legs with a dick?
Well, they're not going to be marked. It just says remains. It does not going to say if it's the legs.
Remainita.
Yeah.
So I think I think it's against Jewish religion to be cremated. I don't know if that's like a Holocaust situation thing. I think there's a few things from the Holocaust where like you can't have tattoos because they had tattoos in the Holocaust. You can't get cremated.
No, the tattoos are older than. I think a lot of those things.
No, the tattoos from 2015 after people saw Fast and the Furious 7. Yeah, I don't like being in a jar, but I also don't like being underground. Honestly, my perfect scenario is just put me above ground in an above ground pool and just let me party in
like
there.
a New Orleans style grave.
No, I'm talking about like an above ground pool in the back of my stepsister's house.
Oh, water? Like you want to be floating,
Yeah,
just a
float
floating
around in
cadaver.
there. Yeah. And then the guy with, I just want to be a floaty. Like you can put drinks on my back. Fucking put some fucking.
Just get some good deck sealer on you so the water doesn't ruin you.
Yeah, I think it'd be pretty fun. Just put some fucking swimmies on me and be like, oh, there's Andrew just floating over there. Look at him above ground. Yeah, I don't want to be below ground. I whatever's going down below there, like we never go there. You know what I mean? When you're alive, it's like that's the last place you want to be.
Yeah.
And I love how they're like 6 feet. I don't know why it's fucking 6 feet. That's so far. I mean, I guess it's
I know a little bit about it. It's because when they used to bury you shallow, like less deep, people
Yeah.
would just dig you up and steal your shit.
Oh, really?
Yeah, grave robbers and stuff.
So they're like, fuck.
You gotta.
I would rob Dave, but that's 3 feet farther than I want to. Yeah, I think like there's definitely there's just like worms down there. No one wants to be there. Yeah. So, but I don't want to be cremated. I don't want to be in the living room just fucking chilling there either. I'm telling you, above ground pool. That's where I want to be.
This is it's barely a question, but it's from Ryan 31. It says, "I'm a hairy son of a bitch, chest, back, etc. You look like you'd be a hairy son of a bitch. Are you?"
Is that a dig? I feel like it's a little bit of a dig, but I guess
He started with "I'm hairy" first too, But
yeah. I'm hairy-ish. Like, I have back hair, but it's not like a shit ton of back hair where it's like, I don't shave it. I do shave. I'll shave like this part I could reach. Brenna did shave it one time, and I do think she was more turned on after she shaved my back. Like, I think if I'm turned around, she could really pretend I'm someone else if I have no hair on my back. She's like, oh my God, you're fucking kind of in shape, guy. I think I'm hairy-ish. Like, I think I need to trim my pubes right now. I know I do because Brenna said I have to. The problem is cleanup. You trim your pubes. I need to get like one of those beard, like they hang below you, but for your dick. I guess you could kind of use it on your dick. Yeah, I'm kind of hairy. I'm too hairy. I wish I was, but I have no hair on my legs. So it's weird. No hair on the legs.
Oh, you're literally half Jewish.
Well, yeah. The Romanian part. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about.
This is from LA Franchise. How do I stop slicing my driver?
You got to do a stronger grip. You got to close your stance. This is a golf question, by the way. So if you're hitting a slice, you're hitting it to the right. That means you're coming over the top. You really have to... First of all, there's so many videos on fucking TikTok and YouTube, so it'll be hard to describe it better than a 15-second video. But you really have to come inside out. And that only happens by... Your takeaway needs to come more inside, which will allow you to do that. I mean, it's very... And you have to close your stance. So your feet have to be closed. And then you come. It almost feels weird of how far you're taking it back. You can't come back straight, because you come back straight, then you're going to come over the top, causing the slice. Also, a lot of people think, oh, I'll just strengthen my grip, which will close the club face. But a closed club face, you can still hit a fucking mean slice. So just overdo it on coming inside out. I don't know. And then start hooking the ball and then go from there.
Wow, you came so alive for that question.
Yeah, it should be a golf podcast, to be honest.
That was like a man talking to his son. He's like, wow, I've waited for a long time.
Yeah, I mean, just go over the top. Start hitting hooks and then work your way back. That's what I would do.
All right, one last one.
One last thing. You think you're going to have to put the ball farther up in your stance to not hit a slice, but it's actually farther back.
Oh.
I know. It's weird. It
doesn't
make sense because you don't think you'll get to it. But the problem is it's too far in your stance and you're reaching.
Oh, I don't know. I can't hit the golf ball, so I should really listen to you.
You also can't turn a camera on.
This one same. It's the same motion. This one is barely a question as well. It's from Valerie. It just says, thoughts on the purple M&M.
Oh, I don't really know about this. Something about acceptance, M&M.
I've also had a hard time keeping up with these. They just keep changing the M&Ms, and that's upsetting somebody. But it's not clear who's upset about the M&Ms, and they've gotten rid of them altogether, and now they're replacing them with Maya Rudolph.
All of the M&Ms?
All the M&M cartoon logos are like, this is people are jerking off to them too much, or it's too race. I don't know.
It's something about them wearing heels, I think.
Some of them are sexy, and people don't like that, or some people like it too much.
You know we're talking about M&Ms.
I know.
That's the point. Like, it's like, what's Skittles doing? Well, is she showing her asshole? You know what I mean? Like, why are we only talking about M&Ms? Like, what are fucking, what's the other ones? I don't even know. Starburst? Starbursts are pretty hot. Yeah, it's fucking weird, but Eminem loves it because we're talking about them. Again, it's like one of these things where it's like they just want to be talked about. So you throw some heels on one, you throw some transgender stuff on the other, you throw fucking, you put one in a fucking ninja outfit, and you're like, hey, let's talk about it. It's like no one fucking cares.
There's no one pro or against it. You're right. There's no one like, give me the M&M with the bussy on it. There's not a single person.
If you care about M&Ms, either way, you are such a pathetic person. You are so pathetic. The fact that you give a fuck about how M&Ms are perceived, it's just so fucking dumb. So dumb. I mean, that's pretty much all I have to say about it. That being said, the peanut ones are the best. I like the peanut ones. The one that comes with a giant cock and a pussy.
Yeah, that one's
everything.
it.
It's so stupid. It's all so dumb. So fucking dumb. But God, do I want to fuck that peanut M&M. The green. Green means go, right? Into my pants. You fucking hot little M&M. It's so weird. All right. Let's start with this. Oh my God. That noise, if you're just listening, is a Jimmy Buffett margarita pina colada mix. I spent way too much money on. This is ridiculous. I didn't think it would take this long to pour and be that loud. So anyone, all right. Okay. Jesus.
Whoa. Cheers.
Cheers. First podcast.
This is like only the...
Oh my God. How much rum you put in there?
I followed the directions.
That is.
Wow, it's creamy.
It is creamy. I don't know if we did it right, but...
I think this is only the second margarita or pina colada I've ever had, but the machine has instructions for like daiquiris. We should try daiquiris out. I love a daiquiri.
It's a machine made for like a party of 50, and it's just us two. It's definitely made for the backyard, like on a dock that's covered, a gazebo or something in Florida. It's not made for this room, but
Yes, it is.
yes, it is.
It fits into this room, but I feel like this is like, we're going to have this forever. Like, we're going to be able to entertain in our backyard someday with this machine
I feel like if we lose all our money
and our grill.
and we end up on the street, at least we could start like some kind of, well, we wouldn't have ingredients, but
We could make friends with this thing, though. We could say, hey, let's come to our camper, and we have...
babe, we don't have anything. We won't even have a plug to plug it in. All we'll have is the Margaritaville machine.
Well, guess what? We could make friends with somebody who has a camper, and then they'll let us plug it in, and we'll make them pina coladas.
Yeah, it will be like Last of Us, the show we're watching. The apocalypse will happen. The people with fucking whatever's in their mouth, the fungus, will be coming after us, and we'll go, hey, man, pina coladas for a round of peanuts?
Hey.
Round of peanuts, boy?
Hey, man.
Hey, man, round of peanuts? By the way, let me introduce the love of my life. She moved to L.A. with me from St. Louis. I met her in St. Louis. This has been a wild road.
I almost didn't come with you.
I didn't know that. Can I introduce you?
Sorry.
Brenna LaRock, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, stop.
Hello, stop it.
Oh, you didn't. You were
I almost didn't come right away with you.
Yeah.
But then I was like, okay, why not?
Well, we didn't want to move twice.
Yeah.
We had a plan. We were going to move. I was going to move. I was going to figure it out, get the studio up and running.
Find a place.
I was going to, scope it out. She was just going to trust me to find the right place. She was going to stay in St. Louis. You were a little afraid about moving out here.
Well, I was more afraid of you finding an apartment for us alone. No offense. No offense.
I'll take it. I'm taking offense. That's rude. You don't trust my taste?
I just feel like, yeah.
What is it about my taste that you don't trust?
It's not your taste. I just am, just like, I notice the smaller things and you don't. But you notice the bigger things.
What do you mean by that? Expound, please.
Like, people call it the landlord special, like when they just like paint over fixtures and like they just like, it's like the equivalent of like putting duct tape over a leak. Like they don't actually like renovate the place. They just slap some paint on and put linoleum on the floors, and then they charge you way too much for it because they're saying it's renovated.
Babe, I think we live in that place.
No, we literally...
We kind of do.
No, we live in an older apartment
That's been renovated.
Truly renovated. It's got original hardwood floors. It has a butcher block something in the kitchen. I don't even know.
Yeah, we don't even know what that is.
But the fixtures, like the sink fixtures are brand new. Like there's updated storage. Like it is. They did a great job, and
the toilet wasn't working right away.
You can tell they take care of the building really well because the outside of the building, like there's so much like vegetation, like plants, and like it's so clean. Like somebody definitely comes and sweeps like multiple times a week.
So you think if you gave me a month up to me and I found a place, there'd be like, it wouldn't be this? You don't think I would have been able to find this on my own? Probably not.
Do you remember the first place that we went and looked at with mouse traps in the back? And you were like, I mean, we could make it work. And I was like, they didn't even hide the mouse traps for the viewing. Like, it was not a good situation. And then there was some old lady, like she was like the old ladies from like the Disney movie. She had like a cape and a hood on, and she was just walking around around the neighborhood and saw us walking out of this giant building, and she goes, "Did you look at 1213?" And I was like, "How do you know? How do you know?" Like somebody would have always been watching us. I'm just not about it.
Yeah, that lady definitely isn't. It's like she put some kind of spell on us.
Yeah.
And if we rented that place, maybe because we didn't rent that place still, we're fucked. Well, at least we got our Margaritaville machine. Like, I can see that lady popping up every 3 months. Like, you didn't get 1213, did you?
Yeah, I was so scared.
Yeah, she was. She's not a good sales point. Whoever's running that real estate firm,
yeah.
I don't know. Maybe she'll scare you into renting it. Yeah. But so we got this place. We're trying to get settled. The first 2 weeks we were here, there was a complete monsoon. I can't even describe how bad the weather was. I don't think people would believe how much it was raining in Los Angeles, but it was so bad that rocks were falling down the hill in front of the car of our realtors, I guess you'd call them, the guys that were helping us rent a place. And they were like, hey, you want to pick up the rocks? And we're like, no, we don't want to pick up. Get out of here. Like, there should be.
Drive.
Like, it was like a movie, like Jurassic Park. Mm-hmm. And, like, everyone was like, apocalypse. Woohoo. It's just LA, dude. It's just rocks. It's just rocks falling. And me and Brenna were like, we made the worst decision of our life. But we finally found a place.
We looked at a lot of places.
Yeah.
And then the places that, oh, my God. We looked at a place that, this is another one. We walk back to it, and I just was like, there are ginormous squirrels everywhere, like big fat squirrels running around, way too comfortable near humans. And then we're behind the guy who's trying to lease out this apartment, and it's the apartment door is right next door to our neighbor who has a fucking hole cut out of his door. And he's like, oh, yeah, he feeds the squirrels. They just come in and out of his apartment. And then he had, like, birds in a cage in the window. And it was a beautiful apartment.
No, we were going to live next to Ace Ventura. We're not going to live next to Ace Ventura.
It was beautiful. But
this guy had a zoo that was bigger than the one from the movie with Matt Damon. Like, he's like, what about a zoo in my house?
And then, like, with Mango, I can just see him, like... I don't know, like fighting squirrels and like getting rabies because he likes to make a dash for it outside sometimes. Mm-hmm. It was too much. So
yeah, I didn't even think about that. Those squirrels in the window. Mango loves a window. He really runs our whole life, this fucking cat. I mean, he is. I love this cat, but boy, our world revolved around him. Before we had a rug for our living room, Brenna goes, Mango needs a tree. And I'm like, okay, like a tree. Like, we had this, like, palm tree. It was, like, maybe 2 feet tall.
Scratching post.
A scratching post, if you will. We bought him a tree that has 9 scratching posts. It has a penthouse. It has a 10th floor, a 9th floor. It has a hammock for him. It has an indoor pool. He has a butler. He has his own doorman. He smokes a pipe now. He just sits up there. And we didn't have shit for our house, and this dude has a full tree. And I mean, look,
he needed somewhere to hang out.
Yes, I mean, I guess. I mean, he did have the whole house, which is he's made his. This cat, I mean, in the middle of the night, if we leave anything out, last night he took down the curtains. They were laying on my head twice.
He literally tore down the curtains. If my biggest fear is waking up to Mango making that noise, like.
No, that's me trying to eat pizza.
It's like cats, when they're chewing something, they should...
Yeah, they don't have enough teeth.
Yeah, they just so like roll it around in their tongue, in their mouth, and then he's always eating something he shouldn't be. But he's grown up so fast. Like all of a sudden,
you say that like he's going to college. Our boy's grown up so fast.
No, but he didn't like any human foods. He didn't like chunky wet food. But all of a sudden, he's like licking coconut cream.
He's eating green beans.
He loves greens. He loves chunky cat food now. Like he's just such a big boy.
It's like a kid eating mushrooms. Like, oh, look at him go. Look at him eat all his peas, you know? I mean, Brenna really does treat this cat like it's her son. We have a stroller for it. We packed the stroller, and we're starting to realize, we're like, oh, we didn't fucking pack that. Because we shipped both our cars and we flew. And that was my decision. I'll take that blame. But there were like little things that we didn't bring, but we made sure to bring Mango's stroller.
Yeah, like I lost my hiking boots in our move.
Yeah.
Like I don't know, but we got Mango's stroller.
Yeah. I don't have my diabetes medicine.
I had a to-go bag. I packed 2 to-go bags for Mango. I put one in my car, and I brought one with us on the airplane. Like, yeah, you know, I have this like thought that maybe my dad always said like, oh, I want to come back as a house cat, and my dad hasn't necessarily had like the easiest life, and so I'm like, so I like to think, pardon me.
Your dad had to work in like Afghanistan, and he's like, you know what? I'd rather just lick my own asshole and shit in a box. and occasionally getting fed fucking dried food rather than work with airplanes.
Well, what I'm trying to say
No, I
is,
get
like,
it. It's
I
tough.
like to think that
Yeah.
cats are like all people that have reincarnated that had terrible lives. Like a house cat is like, that's the ultimate lazy life. You get to do whatever. You don't have to. Everything's done for you. And then even if you do something bad, they're like, "Oh, he's so cute, though." So I like to think like Mango deserves it.
I honestly think
served his time.
Mango could eat half my foot in the middle of the night, and if I'm angry, you're gonna go, "Look, babe, his palate's growing. Don't blame him." He's like, "What did you do with your foot? What happened?
Did you put something on? Did you feed him last night?
I swear I did. Did you give him churro? We give this cat churro. It's heroin for this thing. If you ever want to see fucking a drug addicted eyes, his ears go back. I mean, if you don't own a cat, I apologize. This is a lot of cat talk.
Yeah.
But anyhow, we love him. He made the move with us.
I could totally see how people, when they're like, all we do is go to dinner on our date nights and talk about our kids, and it's like,
ugh, yeah.
And now I get, like, we literally cannot not talk about Mango on a fucking podcast, on a comedy podcast.
I mean,
we're talking about one cat, not cats, one cat.
Well, it'd be weird if we just started talking about other cats. Like the cat, just all cats.
Maybe there's something there.
Yeah, that's true. There could be a cat cast. Or podcasts. All right. Anyhow.
Cats, the podcast.
Cats, the podcast. Oh, like the musical? I like that. Cheers, little pina colada. We definitely didn't have enough ice.
It's really thick. Yeah, like it's a lot of coconut. I feel like I'm just drinking coconut cream.
There's no way this is good for us. So I guess in full disclosure, last podcast it's our second run at this. As you can tell, you don't hear Radu. If you're wondering, I'm kind of wearing the same outfit. I'm not. This has a pocket. The other shirt did not. I felt like we were going to, part of me was going to go, you know what, let's just go through it. But I think we have to be honest with our listeners. First of all, thank you so much for listening. It's the first episode. We just want a place where you can come, you can laugh. It's not too divisive. It's not angry. You're just going to come to enjoy an hour of your life. And I promise you'll never be like, oh, I swear, if they talk about that, I'm done with this podcast.
We were fighting before we started recording. We said, hey, listen, we got to put that aside.
Said not to tell anyone.
Oh. Good vibes only, no bad vibes.
Why does vibes make me have bad vibes? Like the word vibes.
Because it's so overused. It's just so basic.
Okay. That being said, last episode, we were like, here, I'll take the blame. I put a lot of pressure on the podcast. I changed the name. I moved to LA. I quit my last podcast. Obviously, in my mind, this has to go well. Although you can't force it. This is the first episode of many. But that being said, I fucking built out the studio, whatever. We finally decided to record the first episode. And me and Radu, the producer, we're like, oh, we'll have, a pina colada machine. By the way, the pina colada machine was broken. So we went. I was like, you know what? Let's still have like a cocktail or two. We go and buy an 8-pack of margaritas that have 13% alcohol. I have like
in
one.
a 12-ounce can.
Yeah,
I don't even know how that's possible.
It does science, babe. So I come in here, and me and Radu, we have some like technical difficulties, and the show ends up taking longer to record, and we leave Brenna alone with the 8-pack of now 6-pack of margaritas, and I don't know what she was doing out there. I blame myself. I should have got her in here right away, because when she came in here, boy, she was blacked the fuck out. Like, we have footage of this.
It's so good. I also haven't been drinking very much, so I was hammered. I was blacking out while we were talking, and it's not cool to black out. That's not what I'm saying, but boy, it was. I mean, I kind of was fun. I was funny. I'm a funny drunk.
There were some very funny parts, and we could highlight those funny parts. But in between the funny parts was a lot of nah, you don't, no. There was a lot of that, and then very funny, and then it was, I can't even do it, but there was 30 minutes of that. She went on a 20-minute monologue about whatever.
I went on, first I had a rant about Anthony Kiedis and how he needs to shape up because his hair is
You said he
fucking
looks
weird.
like a weirdo. He's disgusting. He has thin hair.
I said, Anthony Kiedis, loved your book. It was great, but you look like a fucking weirdo.
Then you said that I look cooler and am cooler than Anthony Kiedis.
You are.
And that's when I think you actually blew him in the bathroom because it was too defensive to say I'm cooler than the lead singer to Red Hot fucking Chili Peppers is wild.
You are.
Stop it. This is...
You literally are.
I'll take it. All right.
You're
I
way
think
cooler.
about 95% of the world would disagree. Well, more than 95%.
Okay.
And then we went over...
Then I talked about
dog
dicks and how we maybe need the dogs with the pink lipstick dicks. Maybe we should put them in a pen and let them kill all of themselves off, basically.
Okay. When you say it this time, it actually sounds worse because it seems more like real and serious. She just thinks that dog fighting should be happening because dogs' dicks are so disgusting, which I could kind of get. I tried to get behind laughing, and then she kept tripling down, going, "No, you don't understand. Dogs should die because their dicks are weird." And I'm like, okay, this is... So that was pretty much for 30 minutes. And we watched it and we're like, this is great. It's a train wreck.
We were cracking up.
But then we watched it again. The problem is we probably watched it too many times. And I feel kind of protective over you. I don't want someone that never saw the podcast to go,
yeah,
this girl's,
a mess.
This girl should be on Flavor of Love.
Yeah, I agree. I think like if... Maybe we smash it together. We cut the clips, put them together, and it'd be fine if it went out. But man, I just sounded like I had no thoughts. I blacked out. I was blacked out, and the things I was saying were wild. They were bizarre things.
But it was a very fun train wreck, and I think a lot of you are going to be like, we need to see this footage. And I promise you, we will release it at some point. There's going to have to be some kind of disclaimer. We'll put it on a video where, like, alligators eat humans. Like, that's where it's, like, it should be on Jaws of Life, and then Brenna's rants. Hammered. Maybe we'll get her hammered again in a few episodes when I have Barack Obama on and bring her in. And just see what happens.
I think he would love me if I was drunk.
I think it's yeah, so we had a little technical difficulties. We're back. Barack Obama would have loved you. He would have called you a firecracker. He would have maybe, taken you on the road. Maybe you open up for him.
Whoa.
Yeah, I don't know. Who knows? So we live together now. We were thinking about maybe doing some kind of...
Andrew, we've lived together for it's over a year.
In LA.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I was thinking that we would do kind of like a segment where got enough liquids over there. Jesus.
I got an upper and a downer.
Man, River Phoenix. Okay. That you wouldn't get that reference. So we were thinking about doing maybe like a little segment on things that annoy us or annoy each other about the other person. Mm-hmm. And we don't know where this is going. Do you want to go first? You seem to have one teed up for the last 6 years. It's like, Jesus. All right, go ahead.
No, you go first.
You go first. Ladies first.
Well... Sometimes I feel like you use your ADHD as an excuse to not do things.
Jesus.
And then if I bring it up, if I'm like, hey, listen, I know maybe you're not doing this because of your ADHD or you're not seeing it this way because of your ADHD. And then you go, you can't use my ADHD against me.
I don't know. I feel like, first of all,
that kind of annoys me.
Well, it annoys me that you bring up something that I can't control, a diagnosis that like I have a mental illness. And
it's not a mental illness.
Well, there we go. Now you're literally saying. I think people quickly have taken my side on this. Because
no, we should talk about the things. Do you remember the things that happened recently?
Also, you forget shit all the time. A day after you've yelled at me for forgetting shit. I pointed this out millions of times, and you project the shit that you have trouble with onto me.
Andrew, you went to the airport a
Yes.
day early for a flight.
Okay. I wanted to get there early.
Wrong day.
Sorry. It was the wrong airport, too.
What did you do recently that was like unbelievable too? I can't remember for the life of me. And then, but if I
Is that an ADHD thing?
if I bring it up, I was like, maybe you should think about medication and things like that. And you're just so against bettering yourself on that part.
No.
And I think you do try, but I think
You'd rather me
sometimes-
be addicted to like meth, like Adderall, and be like, why are you not like
because then you
sucking
could
dick
give
for
me
Adderall
some. Then you could give me some.
instead of driving yourself to the airport one day early? That kills everybody.
No,
How could you?
There are things that affect me too. You know there are, but
No, look, here's the thing. I don't know what we're talking about. Who are you? What happened?
I just think sometimes you cope with maybe things that you do that disappoint me by saying,
Okay,
I have ADHD.
Can I tell you what annoys me about that?
What?
Because, and please let me say my whole sentence. I don't, if someone messes something up, right? Mm-hmm. Let's say they have ADHD. Mm-hmm. And it's such a minor thing, like, oh, your key, like I forgot the keys or I lost them. Whatever it is.
Yeah.
Whatever it is. If the other person goes, wow, your ADHD is showing, it's not like nice.
Well, I don't say your ADHD is showing.
What do you literally just said every time I point out that you have ADHD, you're not cool about it.
I don't point it out. I'm just like, Andrew, I'm constantly like, Andrew, come on. And you're like, it's my ADHD. And then I'm like, your ADHD is really fucking a lot of things up. Let's fix it. Let's fix it. I don't know. I'm probably going to get more hate saying this than I would just cutting to the blackout footage.
I guess I got to just agree with you so people don't kill you. Because everyone has ADD now.
I know. Well, I mean, I'm probably sure I do too, but I'm... I think sometimes... Okay,
how about this? Your OCD annoys the shit out of me.
That is a mental illness.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
That is a mental illness.
No, ADHD is also... Can we agree that
it's a mental disorder?
Oh, my God. So Brenna likes things a certain way.
Andrew... Look at this room. Can you really say I have that bad of OCD?
You're never in this room. This is my one room. My one place to let my ADHD shine.
At least you have a room.
You have 2 bathrooms. That you organized. And if they're out of organization, you lose your fucking mind.
I don't lose my mind.
Yes. You do. You were on a schedule today, and you followed me into the shower to yell at me that I'm messing up your schedule, that I didn't tell you what the schedule was, and you still have another 2 hours to get ready for work. And I'm trying to shower for 2 minutes, and you're in there. The fog is on the glass. You're yelling at me, going, "I have," and I could make out. It was wild. Okay, so how about this? At the end of these segments. So people don't think we hate each other.
Yeah, we got to say something we love.
Well, I love your OCD.
Come on, tell me something you love about me.
You're a firecracker. No, I love how you make me laugh. I love that you have my back, and it means a lot. And I love...
Oh, I totally have your back.
Yeah, at times.
All the time.
Yeah.
I literally
And what do you love about me?
Fought an AT&T phone worker for you the other day.
What do you love about me?
Well, those are things that have to do about you.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point.
So
How about this? I love how much of you hate when I say this, but you work very hard and you're extremely adaptable at whatever you decide to do, and you can do whatever the hell you just put your mind to.
Oh, thanks.
Unless you're blacked out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so true.
Yeah. And what is it? What do you love about me?
Something I love about you? Good question.
All right. Well, thanks.
No. Something I love about you. Just, I don't know. Well, I mean, I do know, but like, I know I could bring you, like, you could meet anybody in the whole world and they would like you.
Oh.
Yeah. You're just a very lovable person. And, like, it's not about, like, oh, because you're like teddy bear. It's like a teddy bear thing. It's like you're like a, I don't know, like diplomatic or like
Obama.
Like Obama. Yeah.
Here's the thing. I think with these segments, and I do like the annoy you then love you, but I feel like the annoy you love you, I think with the segment we say what annoys us about each other, and then we come to a resolution about the thing that annoy us. So it's like,
if we could resolve my OCD on this podcast, that would be. I think we would go a long way with this podcast. If we
I don't think
out.
we're gonna heal you. I think what we'll do though is go, I understand why you want things organized. I get it. I hear you, and I will try to be better about the things that I do in order for you to not trigger those things.
I'm blacking out.
That being said, that was the first Andrew Collin Show. I think it went pretty well. Please keep listening. Tell your friends. Subscribe. I don't know what else to... Oh, I have a show with Ashley... Hesseltine.
Is
it Hesseltine? I always fuck it up, dude.
Yeah.
Hesseltine? Are you sure? I think I said Tyne on the...
It's Ashley Hesseltine.
Okay. Ashley Hesseltine, who is a very good friend of mine who I... ADHD. We have a show at the Hollywood Improv on Valentine's at 10:15 p.m. Please come. I think you'll really like it. Got a great lineup. And yeah, thank you so much for listening. I do want to talk more about the listeners, you guys, next week. So many of you came out to live shows when I did my little mini tour there. I did 8 shows, and people really came out, and it really touched me a lot, and I really do appreciate you supporting me, because sometimes I feel like I'm all alone with a cat and a beautiful girlfriend, and no one cares. But I guess some people do, which is very nice. And Brenna, any last words?
Everybody have a good week.
Yeah.
Yeah.